Hey guys, Analog Man here for another late night deck profile, and as you can see from the title, we are looking at Dorbickmon, a very weird card that came out of EX3 that you might have actually seen a lot of people teching in as like a one of in Dragon decks basically. But surprisingly, you can actually make an entire deck out of it, which is really cool actually, because after testing it out, how it works, it actually reminds me a lot of the Machine Dramon deck that I actually did a deck profile on before, my version that ran Sistermon and all the new stuff basically. This deck is very similar because you're basically focusing on just Dorbickmon and getting him into your hand, and then just filling your hand with dragons or dinosaurs or whatever the other typing was that would allow you to digicross with him from your hand, which is really crazy. Oh, and it does it. So basically, when he is summoned, he grabs stuff from the field and your hand. So you're basically like just fusing 5 dragons together, just like Machine Dramon. So it's like 5, except there's not a limit to it, and there's no color requirement either. Machine Dramon requires black and red, but here you can put blue, you can put red, you can put even green technically if you really wanted to, or if you really wanted to, you could also do purple. So it's just really cool how this deck works. It just specifies dinosaur, dragon, and something else that I'm not going to pronounce. But yeah, let's actually get into deck profile so you can see what I mean by it. First off, for the eggs, we're running the 4 Digimon because Digimon with the Guilmon line is actually really strong. I opted not to play the promo because surprisingly, in my testing, I didn't need it. You already draw a lot with the option cards that you run in this deck. To the point where you actually don't want to draw too much because potentially you can deck out really fast with how fast you do it. But this is just there to get that extra draw one. And, if you're playing, like in this build, I am running the Guilmons as the rookies. So you're guaranteed for this to go off, basically, which is really nice. For the rookies, we are running 4 of the new EX3 Guilmon, the red and purple one. I like this one mainly because the fact that on deletion, it can delete a Digimon that is um, that is 3,000 or less, but also the fact is that if it doesn't delete anything, it actually trashes the top 2 cards. So potentially you could actually screw your opponent out of a crucial card that they might need. So I actually kind of like how that works. Aside from that, I mean I like the promo one, but I wanted to actually try this one out, and it actually worked out very well. Plus, it gives you, if you ever wanted to, you could actually put in purple, and this gives you access to purple, which is really nice. Then we run 4 Guilmon X antibody. This one's really cool because because this is a Dark Dragon, you can actually put this underneath Dorbickmon and add a +1,000 to a DP deletion effect. So its main effect basically becomes 14,000 deletion, so it's very powerful. And yeah, we only run these 8. Some builds I've seen actually run more. They run at least the full 12, but so far I've actually never really needed more than 8. Surprisingly, like I ran 10, and it kind of bricked me a few times when I was testing, so I reduced it down and just kept it just Guilmon, and it worked out a little bit better. But yeah, that's all the rookies or level 3s that we run for the deck. Then for level 4s, we actually run a bit. First, we run 3 of the Quadramon from the starter at 8 because, of course, on play, it can draw 2, and if it can come out of security. So very solid to set up a next attack for next turn, basically. Then we run 2 of the new Flarizamon because of his inherent effect. Basically, if this Digimon has Dragon Sword or Ceratopsian or whatever, it basically allows them to draw 1 when attacking. Then we run, of course, the 2 Greymons that give security +1 because it's literally the actual best Greymon so far that has come out, unless you count Greymon X, but we can't really use him in this deck, so he's not the best for this. Then we run, actually, surprisingly, 2 Growlmon also from the old starter deck 7 specifically. When an opponent's Digimon is deleted, gain 1 memory. If you combo this with another level 5, I believe, you can actually gain back 2 memory, which is really nice. But you want that extra memory to be able to play a very specific 1-cost option card for red that helps you stop options. And I think most people know what that is who have played against red. And then the last level 4 we run is 1 Burning Greymon because sometimes you just want a hybrid for game. And you do run red Tamers in this build. So this actually comes in clutch because if you get back the 2 memory, as I mentioned, you can just evolve and then swing in for game. So really solid. For level 4s, we're running 3, 5, 7, 9, and then 10. So we're running exactly 10 level 4s, which is actually pretty standard, but as you can see, there's a blue in here, so it doesn't really matter. It's mainly, Cordramon is here mainly just for draw, while the others are either for game or for inherent abilities, which is really cool. Then let's get into level 5s. So level 5s, we're running 3 Majiramon. Yeah, this card is really wonky, but he can evolve on top of Cordramon. And the cool thing is that his when attacking is that if your opponent has a guy with no sources, you get to unsuspend. So if your Dorbickmon is already swinging for 5 security, you're basically swinging for 10. And then if you have an Omni in hand, it's game. So this guy is actually really crucial. And the fact is that Dorbickmon does not limit by color, so you can put this underneath it, so really cool. Then we run 2 Volcanodramon, the old one actually from BT4, because this one just generically gives a security +1, and you want a security +1, you know, just check everything. Then we run 2 of the new Lavogaridamon. This was the other Digimon that I mentioned before that works in conjunction with Growlmon, because when an opponent's Digimon is deleted, and this is an all turns one, if it is deleted, uh, and this Digimon has an on-play effect, which it does, you can gain a memory. So in conjunction, if you manage to put both of them underneath Dorbick, you get to gain 2 memory, which lets you kind of set up for a delicate plan and play like Fireball to pass them to 1, so really solid. Then we run 2 Jezza Richmons because, of course, when this guy has an on-play, he gains a security +1, so it's really cool. Plus, this is a machine dragon, and just any dragon can go underneath him as well, so very solid. And then we run for the last level 5, 3 Master Tyrannomons, because this guy just gives himself security +1 and gives whoever inherits his ability right here another security +1. So really solid how that works, because then if you stack Dorbickmon correctly, as I keep mentioning, you can basically check for tons of security. And yeah, we're running 5, 7, 9, 10, 11 level 5s, which kind of seems a little bit overkill, but you'll see that you need these in hand basically as soon as possible. It's kind of, as I mentioned, it's kind of like Machine Dramon. You want to see all your level 4s and 5s so that you can just summon him out and then just go for a game basically, which is really nice. Then for level 6s, we're only running the 4 Dorbickmons. I do plan to max rarity this because honestly, the alt art looks really cool. This guy's really dumb how he works. For anybody that doesn't know what he does, first off, his evolution cost is 4, which is pretty steep for a red card, honestly. But his ability is on play, delete one of your opponent's Digimon with 3,000 DP or less. But for each card with Dragon in its traits in this guy's sources, add 2,000 DP to the maximum DP you can choose with this effect. So you basically just get to equip and just like burn through them. Basically, it's crazy how powerful it works. Yep. But yeah, no, basically, you equip 5 dragons and then you just pop something 13,000 DP or less. Or if you equip the Guilmon, you get to do a 14,000 DP or less, which is really powerful. Very solid card. But yeah. Um, it also has Rush. I keep forgetting to mention that sometimes. Rush, so that way I just swing in, do the 5 checks, and then basically I wipe their whole security. And if they can't basically stop me, I win the game, basically. But yeah, so we run 4 of those. Oh, there's a glare there. Yep. For level 7s, we only run the 2 Omnimons because this is just basically if this guy doesn't kill them, you just evolve and then swing for game, basically. If you don't have that extra attack, this is what gives you the extra attack to win. The rest of the deck is basically just the options and the tamers. But yeah, let's get through that really fast. So first, Red Memory Boost helps you search out 4 cards and potentially grab Dorbick. And of course, giving you 2 memory, which is really nice. So very solid card. Then we run 3 of Heir to the Dragon. A lot of the cards in this deck actually are technically Greymon or Dramon, so you can occasionally get the popping off, but the main thing is to get the draw 2. Then we run 3 Fireballs because we also want to get rid of rookies that can stop us from specifically reducing cost. So we run at least 3 of this, and the Heir to the Dragon does help with that. And it does draw you 2 if it doesn't delete anything. Then we run 2 delicate plans because we need to be able to swing in without threat of a option card killing us. So it's crucial to actually get one or the other of the guy that basically gains you a memory, because you can do that, rush, and then play this, and then you're basically good, and you can just keep swinging in. But yeah, that's all the options we run for the deck. For Tamers, we just run the 3 heroes because Hero, of course, can give the plus 2,000 boost onto him, so he'll be swinging in for 14,000 for multiple checks. If you have 2 stacked in, he's going to be 16, and if you have the third one, it's an 18,000 swinging in for multiple checks with no security, so really solid. And yeah, it's just really powerful. And of course, he sets your memory to 3, so you're always guaranteed to be able to play this guy if you have all the sources. So that's basically the deck. The deck is very simple, kind of like red OTK. It honestly reminds me a lot of like the old red decks from like BT3 and BT4, where they just kind of swing in and just check for a lot and just that, and then they just win basically with Omni. But yeah, like this is a really weird OTK deck, but I feel like it's kind of like a red Machine Dramon, honestly. Like it's basically the other Chaos Dramon deck of EX3, because Chaos Dramon, he does a lot of digivolving, but he doesn't really go for a game. He usually goes for like the Russian Blitz to kill something. But here it's just straight up pure OTK, just punch in, just get those checks, and just win the game basically. Almost every match I've seen, it's always ended with, okay, I push up a rookie, and then I do this, check for like all your security, and then the rookie will kill you for game. That's basically how a lot of the matches I've seen end, because that the fact that this guy can just check so much and negate options along with delicate plan and all that is insane. But yeah, no, I just wanted to put this deck profile out because honestly, I just discovered this deck and I thought it was really cool, and I wanted to share with you guys my really, really rough draft of this so far. I will be making some modifications to it. My super rough like prototype version was even more janky than this, and I slowly kind of like replaced things because certain things I felt was kind of off. Like I was running 2 Burning Grays, and I was like, he doesn't do anything. He just gets me game 1 time. So I reduced him down to 1. Same with the Jesurichmon and the Lavogaridamon. I had them both actually at 3, but it just felt really weird seeing them so often. And the fact is that like you don't want to hard play them, so it's like I reduced them down to 2 each. But Master Tyranno did come in clutch a few times in testing, so I feel like he was more useful. And Majiramon is really good on top of Cordramon because I mean, every other game, Cordramon would actually come out of security, so this was actually very live half the time. So I actually did like having this at 3. And then originally I wasn't even actually running the 2 Growlmons until I found it in my common stuff. But the cool thing is that this is just a generic, like when a Digimon is deleted, it doesn't require a Gallon or anything, so I decided to try it out and it works really well. Same with Flarizamon. Like originally the build I had didn't even run him, but putting him in actually is really nice because you get to like get that extra draw when you swing with Dorbickmon, so you could set up for another one if you really need to. And then originally I was only running 2 because I couldn't find my third one, but having a third one is really nice. And then, of course, my rookies were also kind of weird because I was running the other Agumon that's a dinosaur, but I feel like it's actually better if you just run all Guillaumons, because that way it's like, oh, okay, if you draw both, you just get to evolve on top and you get to stack them like that, and you get to draw off of the Digimon, so very solid. Originally, I didn't really know what level 7 to run also, which was really weird. But then I just realized, now let's just splits for a game. And I just settled on Omni, and Omni is always good. And then these others, I use them in other. I've used them actually in other decks, specifically like these 2 I've used in Machine Dramon, and then this I've used in Galmon, and they've helped me a lot. So I was like, okay, why not try them? And then Delicate Plan is just a no brainer if you're playing an OTK deck, because you kind of have to. And then Hero is basically now the new best tamer. Aside from Ty giving you that extra security. So I opted to just run 3 of him, and it's been really solid. So this is basically how my build is at the moment. Assuming I will be making more changes, but we'll see after more testing and possibly bringing this to my locals to see how it does against the newer decks. I feel like this deck would do really good. Um, and just kind of turbo through a lot of things, but we'll see. It also depends on the luck of the draw. But yeah, I wanted to put this out. So, thanks for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, and let me know what you thought of the deck, actually. And I'll see you guys next time.